guest.
El Cantante! Ray!
I bet you didn't get that greeting anywhere else.
Never. That absolutely made my day. Thank y'all. That's great. What's up, Cass? How y'all doing? Annalise, how are y'all?
Hey, good morning.
Well, I'll be. Look at this guy, Frank Ray, hanging out. Just released his highly anticipated self-titled label album, including Somebody Else's Whiskey, his current radio single that's burning up the country charts, giving fans what they want. A little bit of Latino spice.
I love it, man. I'll tell you what, Cass. I'm going to need that sound clip, man. If you could send it over. It's gonna make my next video, I promise it.
Well, here's what you ought to do, is that ought to be the official opening whenever you run out there. El Cantante!
They can put you on a hologram, Cash.
Yeah,
you guys
no.
can just be a dynamic duo.
Frank,
Everyone's nightmare.
I got so much I got to ask you, but the sooner you just hire me to go on the road. Now, this bass player you got, this ain't some Nashville guy, is it? This is one of your boys from back home, eh? I mean, right?
That's right.
Okay,
That's
good,
right,
good.
Man.
Just listen, as long as you keep that rolling, just come to me before you start hiring any Nashville guys, all right? Stick with, the city across. There's some El Paso in there. Right. But you can see Frank Ray's on tour with Old Dominion right now. But really quick, let me ask you this, because I've always been interested, and I'm like, okay, I've seen it in El Paso at Chihuahua Stadium, but you sang the national anthem at the Detroit Tigers game. Talk to us a little bit about that. How did that come together, and what was that process like? Just showing up at first thing, how they treat you that day. You did a fantastic job, too, by the way.
Oh, thank you, brother. I mean, I've been pretty fortunate at this point to have sung the national anthem at different sporting events, whether it's a Titans game here or the Tigers, or I sung for the Nationals shortly before that. It's the one song, I'll just say this, it's the one song that makes me nervous. I can get up there and perform in front of thousands of people, my music, fine, crush it, have a good time. The national anthem's the one time where I start sweating a little bit, because that's the one reason you don't want to go viral for, is butchering the national anthem.
True that.
But to your point, these organizations are great. They treat you so well. They come in, make sure that you're taken care of. You got a sound check well before. Tell you where you're going to stand, what are you going to, what they're going to do, and when the colors are being announced, they'll give you the cue. I mean, they take really good care of you, especially if it's a televised event. And so, it's just really cool to go out there and experience these different organizations. Now, I will say the Tigers were getting killed that game way up until like the seventh inning, and then they just came back, and the energy and the crowd shifted, and they wound up coming back and winning the whole thing. So that was a really fun game to be a part of. I think they played against the Braves.
Yeah, and I was curious, did you get to rub elbows with some of the players, after, pre-game or any of that stuff, or was it just kind of saying, all right, let's get you out, and then you go up to the suite? I mean, any of that stuff at all?
Yeah, I mean, I try not to bother them, like after the game or anything like that, but definitely during sound check, when it's so fun to watch. They're out there doing their stretches and warming up and stuff, and I start doing the sound check, and then I know when I can get them to take a break from the stretching and they just want to watch the national anthem, which they probably heard thousands of times at that point, then I'm doing my job right.
Hey,
so it's pretty cool.
Hey, you can always roll some of those R's, bro, in that national anthem, make it your own. You know what I'm talking about there.
Or just say Jose. Can you see?
Jose.
Frank, I got a real kick out of seeing on Instagram over the weekend that you were up in Old Orchard Beach, Maine, which I'm a Maine native. I'm from Kennebunk, so it's always fun to see, like, when artists are in my home state. And, you've been on the road constantly the past year. Are there any, cities or states that have really stuck out to you that maybe you hadn't visited prior to your new career, but, would like to go back and explore more?
Maine's definitely one of those. I think when our radio rep, Lexi, she picked me up from the airport and handed me a lobster roll on our way to sound check. And I was like, this is the vibe right here.
That's how we do it in Maine.
It was Luke's. I think it was Luke's lobster rolls or something like that. It was so good. And I was like, man, I want to come back simply just for this. I wish they'd pick me up at the airport like this all the time. But, just different places like that. You get all the cheese curds in Wisconsin. Obviously you get some great street tacos down in California. I mean, you name it. There's just, I'm very, very fortunate to be on the road as a tour musician, because I get to experience these different cultures and different communities and try out different things. And it's a lot of fun.
Again, we're talking with Frank Ray. He just released his anticipated self-titled label. It's available now. Check it out. Somebody Else's Whiskey, just to name some of the few. Yeah, the lobster roll hits a little different than Chico's Tacos, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
They hate tacos a bit too.
Yeah, but Chico's Tacos is on a different level there. I mean, I think about that more than anything. Hey, talk to me a little bit, bro, about touring with Old Dominion. What have you learned from those guys? Matt Ramsey, I mean, especially when it comes to musicians like those dudes, that's like an old school band, and that's all they do is write hit music. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Oh, it's great, man. They just write feel good music. They're so the cleverly crafted songs, the arrangements, and how they flow from one song to another is really a treat to watch. And I'm definitely taking notes, man. I'm taking notes. Watching the production, things that I'd like to incorporate into my show, hopefully later on down the road. Things that I want to kind of stay away from because I know the headache that they can be. It was just a lot of great experience, but overall, just the vibes are great, man. They just a great group of musicians, great group of human beings. I just love them, and I hope this isn't the last one. I hope we get to do it again sometime.
Frank Ray also recently launched his mental health initiative called Fray. Why? And tell us a little bit about that, bro.
Well, for people that don't know, I was a police officer for 10 years prior to doing this full time. I served in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And, so I know firsthand the traumas that these men and women are dealing with and what they deal with on a daily basis and how notorious we are for compartmentalizing these issues, which, if not addressed, can really manifest themselves into some real problems, whether it's alcohol abuse or suicidal ideations and things like that. And it can be a very dark topic, and that's why there's this negative stigma that's attached to it, and people don't want to talk about it. But I think that's part of my goal is changing the conversation, raising awareness that this is a very real problem, that 85% of first responders are more likely to take their own life than to die in the line of duty. Ringing that bell, and then also providing resources. Make sure they have an outlet to go and seek help if they're dealing with alcohol abuse or substance abuse or domestic violence issues or suicidal ideations, all that stuff, that they have access to organizations that are willing to help. So if they go visit my website at frayoc.org, they can click on any of the links there that might be helpful to them, that might be applicable to their trauma.
In regards to your album, brother, what song do you really want people to check out? Is there a favorite on the list? I know you love all of them. They're all great. But which one be like, hey, check out track number whatever?
Yeah, maybe like a good deep cut.
One
or
of these
something.
things. And just in regards to, some substance in lyrics. You know what I mean? Something that may tell a story, something that may hit somebody hard.
Man, I'm a sucker for a sad guy song, right? Which is one of the songs that I really had to kind of fight for on this album because it's such a fun album that kind of reflects my personality and it's very fun and vibrant and musical. But I wanted to throw a couple of sad songs in there, and one of my favorites is a song called "Learn Something New." So if you go listen to that song, have a bottle of whiskey close by.
Will tequila work with the worm, by the way?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Hey, you heard it from Frank himself. So have the beverage nearby.
That's some Juarez, Mexico type stuff right there, baby.
Exactly
you know what I'm talking about.
Sí.
El Cantante, Ray. Dude, I'm so proud of you. I mean, it's like God.
We're
every time I
always
see
cheering you on.
I mean, I see you, doing the shows back home in Cruces and them just celebrating the success that you have. And just keep it rolling, bro. I mean, you're in the zone right now. And like I said, don't fire him because he needs a gig. But if you need a bass player, you know where to find me. I mean,
got you covered, baby.
I'll quit tomorrow. And
bring the Chicos Tacos.
Orale, for real. Some Carlos and Mickey's. We got Chicos Tacos. I mean,
now you're making me hungry, okay?
Si, senor.
Step out here. Go get some grub.
La Posta. I mean, it's all there. You're the man, dude. You're the man. We appreciate you so much, Frank. Just keep rolling, bro.
I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for all the love. I appreciate it.
You got it, bro. Thanks a lot, man. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.